Welcome back to Blue Zone Homestead. Today we are going to have an apple day. What I mean by that, we are going to process quite a bit of this apple. But actually I just remembered I might gonna weigh this apple before we process it because most of the time we've done this the previous years, I think I forgot to weigh the apple at the beginning of the project, so I might do that, but look at this apple. I think this is the prettiest apple and one of the tastiest I've ever tried. So this is a new apple tree, so I don't know what to expect. I've never made the juice with these, so I'm super excited what the juice is gonna turn out from this apple variety. I'm not sure about the variety though, that's the only thing I would love to know, but I'm not sure. So the plan is I'm going to wash this big bucket of apple, what we're going to weigh in a minute, so we know our starting weight, and then I'm going to wash this thoroughly and I'm going to cut this in half and quarter. So this is my job, and then my husband will then use like an apple grinder to further cut it to smaller pieces, chunks, apple chunks, and then we're going to use the apple press to press it to get the juice out of it. And the leftovers, what I'm gonna do, some of it I'm gonna give it to the animals, chickens, turkeys, goats, and some will come back to this bucket and we're gonna make apple cider vinegar. So I think that's the job for today. We still got some more apple and some more apple projects, but in this vlog that's what I'm gonna focus in on. I'm starting with 2 buckets, we got some water in there, and I'm going to put a good splash, a good couple of tablespoons of pressed organic lemon juice, and that will just help our apple to stay in that lovely color, otherwise it will go brown real quick. As soon as we cut into this apple, we'll leave it a few minutes, that will go brown. Put this lemon juice in the water, that would prevent that. That's the plan. So if you're interested, you are welcome. We are going to be in a kitchen and probably in a bit of a garage, and let's get this project started. So I'm going to wash the apples and I'm going to cut it, and then we're going to press, and then at the end we're gonna weigh the apple, and then we'll see how many liters of apple juice we get in the end, and then we're gonna have a taste test. It looks like we are going to work with about 50 kilograms of apple today. So I am very curious how many liters of apple juice we can have. So I'm just cutting the bad bits off. There is not much, a little bit here and there, and I'm just cutting like quarter the apples. What I have noticed, even though look how beautiful this apple is, that the pips still white, what indicates that the apple is still not ready. And honestly, they're delicious and they're so beautiful and red. I perhaps should have left it a bit long, but so many now, it's already got so many windfalls. So we thought it's the perfect time to pick it. Oh, never mind. So I'm just going to chop all these half and half and put it in this bucket next to me with some water and lemon juice in it, so it don't go brown. And then when my bucket is about half full, I take it to Alan and his carrying unit in a garage, chop it further and press it in an apple press. And this is one of our favorite autumn job, because we know how delicious this apple juice will be, especially in a winter time when we just take it out of the freezer, because that's how I store it, because they won't last long now fresh. So we might leave a couple of litres out for fresh drinking now, and the rest will go to the freezer for the upcoming month. And honestly, I've been doing this for years, and frozen apple juice tastes delicious. I usually take it out the night before and leave it in a fridge, and next day just give it a good shake, the bottle or whatever, glass, whatever you store it in, and honestly, it's delicious. So I'm just gonna carry on do this, and I'll come back and tell you the figures, and after that we're gonna make apple cider vinegar. So we are now ready to press the apple with our apple press. Ali's really good to put the thing together, and oh wow, first time we're having actually a pink apple juice, friends. I cannot wait to try this. What do you think, Sandika? What do you think, my sweetie? What do you think? We just finished all 50 kilograms of apples. It's all chopped, and now we're ready to put that in an apple press. So all these leftovers, I'm gonna use up. Probably the first bucket will go to the animals, and then after we finish pressing this, all the leftovers, or some of the leftovers, I'm gonna make apple cider vinegar. Such a lovely autumn job. Honestly, when we start making things with apples, processing our lovely apple harvest from our apple orchard, it screams autumn. Enjoying the hard work of our garden, what we worked so hard for, from sowing the seeds, nurturing all the plants, watering, taking care of all those lovely fruits and vegetables through the summer. And when September comes, September, October, it's the harvest, so we are celebrating the harvest, celebrating our hard work, and obviously few more months preserving what is again kind of hard work, when all that produce comes in so fast, you get a bit overwhelmed, because what I'm gonna do with them all? I do not like wasting, so we eat fresh as much as we can, but the rest we are preserving. And the winter time's the ones for me where I can truly relax and enjoy our produce. But yeah, Alan is really good pressing these apples. He's got a system going, and honestly, this apple juice tastes divine. Yeah, I am constantly thinking of the next job, what to do next. It's so important to plan, especially this time of the year. And I've got so much planned in my head. I cannot wait to show you, friends, to do everything together. So all the job is now done. We have managed to process 50 kilograms of the same variety apples, and we had 7.5 liters of apple juice, and lots of leftover what is still good. So half of those leftovers goes to the animals, and another half we're going to make an apple cider vinegar with. And by the way, we had a taste test, and this apple, it's a pink apple juice tastes delicious. I'm gonna leave 2-liter bottle in a fridge, so we're gonna enjoy that the upcoming week. And this 3 bottle will go to the freezer, what we're gonna enjoy winter time. And this is just the start, so I hope we're gonna do a few more apple project, making juice. But the next job is to make the apple cider vinegar. It is the next day, and today we are going to make apple cider vinegar from our leftover apples, apple scraps we've just made the apple juice with. Let me just show you what a beautiful pink apple juice we've made with those beautiful red apples. Look at this. So good. Fantastic. Okay, so the leftover, we've got quite a bit. I've not weighed this. Let's just weigh this, I'm curious. Let's weigh this apple scrap. What our start weight is. 9 kilograms. I'm gonna make a note. Well, actually, that 50 kilogram of apple what we started with made, I did say 7.5, but it was actually in the end was nearly 8 liters of this juice. I'm gonna change this for 8 liter. And now our starting weight, what did I say? 9 kilogram apple cider vinegar. And it was an apple juice project. I'm just curious to know these numbers. Right, now we can start. So for 9 kilograms, I'm gonna use, for now, if we need more, we make more. 8 liters of water, and I'm going to put 2 cups of sugar. So roughly about a cup to 4 every 4 liters of sugar to make this lovely apple cider vinegar. I'm going to give this a very good stir until the sugar dissolves, and basically I'm just going to pour this over the apple scrap, cover it with cheesecloth and leave it to it. I'm going to leave it to it for about 6 weeks, and the first 2 weeks I'm going to stir it every day. Because ideally we don't really want, on the top, what's on the top we're going to stir it in the bottom, because this is a lot. And about 6 weeks time I'm going to strain it, and we're going to put it back for another 4 months, and then we're going to put this SCOBY. I just wanted to show what it looks like. It's also called as a mother, full of good bacteria, what helps to create a lovely environment for the apple cider vinegar for us. Okay, this is now done. So it's all dissolved, and I'm going to pour this over our apple scrap. And give it a good mix, friends. I do make a lot of apple cider vinegar because we do use it a lot, all the time really. We drink it, it's really good digestive benefits before you eat, or just in the morning, or any time really. I give it to my animals. If you've got gout, I think I'm gonna make 4 more liters, friends. It's a 4-liter jug and a cup of sugar. This is gonna be enough now. Just stir it until it dissolves. And that was a very easy, straightforward job. We still got so much apple left. I just wanted to show it to you how we make things. So I will probably do a few more batches with different apple varieties. So we do some more juicing, pressing, vinegar, cider vinegar, and I'm probably gonna do some freeze drying, apple pie filling, and fresh eating as much as we can. Okay, let's pour this over. Fantastic. Okay, let's give it a good stir. Ideally we want this underwater, so I might put a plate on the top to press it down. And press this down. Put the cheesecloth or this cloth on the top, so make sure nothing goes in it, unwanted visitors. And I'm just gonna stir this every day. I usually just keep this in my inside pantry on the floor, and that's it. I would like to show you how did the sauerkraut turned out, what we've made together a couple of weeks ago. By the way, I've made this lovely sourdough bread. I cannot wait to have it for breakfast. So I'm just gonna take the top off, remove these few bits and bobs. Amazing. If I can take this out, done it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do with this now, I'm going to put this in the jars. So just transfer this to the jars, and I'm gonna leave it in a fridge. It's our very homegrown, homemade sauerkraut, full of probiotics, full of good bacteria. It's really important for our health and our immune system. This is the best of the best. I actually can't remember now how long we had this. I have to have a look. We've done this together, so I'm gonna check back the videos and check when we've made this, so how long that's been sitting just behind me on the floor, on the kitchen floor, because this is one of the best I've ever made. Honestly, one of the best. I'm gonna give some to Al to try. We also still got some fermented cucumbers, and I might make some more actually, because our cucumbers now coming to the end in a polytunnel. So I might do a big batch of fermented cucumbers. Right, we nearly filled this big jar now. Push it down and fill it real tight. And then pour the water, the brine over it. We still got lots of cabbage leaves, that's why I'm going nice and steady. I don't want to damage those, because that will make amazing cabbage rolls for us. I am actually so glad I've added caraway seed. So good. Okay, now we reached those cabbage leaves. So I'm gonna save these. I put them in the jar as well. Some more in here. Okay, and now you fill the other jar. Kitchen smells a bit tangy now, but I don't mind. Bit gassy. I absolutely love sauerkraut. Me growing up, we've always had it through the winter, so we made it in autumn time, this September time, and then we had it until, you know, the next season really. Okay, I think we need another jar, friends. Might get a quart jar, or maybe not. Hang on. Maybe we can do this. Whatever's left over, I just leave it out and we're gonna have it today. Today I'm gonna have a harvesting day as well, and I'm probably gonna make something. I took some mincemeat out and some smoked sausages, and I also would like to make a roasted tomato soup or something with this lovely sourdough bread. Okay. I think I'm ready to pour over the... Oh, shoot. Let me just get the jug. Put this in a jug first. This is how much brine we have. I'm gonna try to pour this so it's kind of enough in both, like that. Push this down. You want the kraut under the brine, really. That's it. And here. Perfect. I am chuffed with the result. Really chuffed. So what I've got in here, a lot of parchment paper. I'm gonna corrode the lid, put it on the top, and this is our very homegrown, homemade sauerkraut. Now it's ready. I will keep mine, I'm gonna put it in a fridge, and we use it when we need it. So the next job what I've got in here, I've got the fermented cucumber, and I can put this in a jar like that, and we can make some fresh ones with the leftover. Oh, the lovely garlic. Push it down. And I'm gonna pour this over the brine. Perfect. And I can use up the leftover brine when I'm making mayonnaise. I'll put a little bit in it. So that can just go maybe to this jar. That is perfect. I've also made sour cream. What I do when I make yogurt, I make enough for us to last for a week, some leftover to start a new batch with, and some what I'm straining through again. I've got this little strainer, and then it becomes this very thick sour cream, basically. So like a sour yogurt, and I use this as a sour cream, and it is delicious, friends. So today is one of those days when I've got time to do all these kitchen projects because it needs to be done. So I've already labeled the top, so it says sour cream. I know what's in it, and that can go to the fridge. So I've jarred up now the fermented gherkins. I've got the leftover brine. Remember, we're making part of the mayonnaise with that. And also I'm just cutting our cheese. This goat's cheese, we've made this a week ago now. And actually I do another cheese making day. I'm just cutting this for our breakfast. I just wanted to show you how wonderful this cheese is, honestly. I absolutely love it. Well, it's 9:45 now, so I really need to... There's one more thing I want to do to start a sourdough bread. And then I'm going to do the chores, milk the goats. I'm a bit late today. And get that day going. So I have got half a litre lukewarm water in this measuring jug. I had a tiny bit of that sauerkraut brine and little bits and bobs of this sauerkraut in this dish. This is something new. Let's see what's gonna happen. And to this now I'm gonna start with 4 cups of bread flour, and we're gonna make a dough. And to that I'm gonna add after probably 1 more cup of rye flour and half a tablespoon of salt and half a cup, or about half a cup, 3/4 of a cup of sourdough starter. And I'm just going to give it a good mix until it makes a dough. Cover it with shower cap and leave it in a warm kitchen, probably by my aga, for a couple of hours before we do a stretch and fold. Good morning. I am ready to take the bread dough out of the fridge. It's been sitting there overnight, what we just made yesterday. The first thing before I take that out, for about a good half an hour, I'm going to put my cast iron pan. That's what I use. And on the bottom I've bought this extra little tray, because when I've just put my bread in there, it usually bakes too well for my liking, and it gets a bit harder. But since I discovered this little tray and I put in there, my bread still fits in there perfect, and it just gives me the perfect bread. So I'm using a lid as well. So I'm going to put this in my preheated aga roasting oven for half an hour. And after half an hour, I'm gonna take the bread out of the fridge, and I'm gonna show you how I score it, how I get it ready to put it in the cast iron and pot, baking dish, and then we're going to put it in, and I'm gonna talk about it, how long for and the way I do it. While we're waiting the bread dish to heat up, I would like to show you this. I know we've not made this together. I've just kind of made this pasta sauce, tomato sauce up yesterday. And look at this deep red color. The reason is this color. I talk about this first. I love it. First I thought, why is this so dark red? You know, this deep red, shall I say. Because I've put a few purple carrot to the recipe. So I just tried to remember the recipe, but we need to make this together. So I've just roasted the San Marzano and the Amish paste tomato we've just picked together from the Politano the other day, with some handful of garlic, a couple of onions, a couple of handfuls of tomatillo. They were the biggest tomatillo I've ever grown. Also I've put the carrots on the top. What else I've put? I think that's it. And then I've used parsley and basil after, so I put it in the roasting oven for good 40-45 minutes, and then I've just blitzed it together with some spices, you know, garlic powder, you can put extra onion powder, chili if you like it, chili, paprika. I put fresh parsley and basil in it, but you can put whatever you like seasoning wise, because I'm not going to can this. I'm going to freeze this. I've already made, you can put this on pasta sauce, spaghetti, meatballs, whatever, lasagna. I've made it like in a lasagna yesterday, and it turned out really well. So what I'm gonna do now, it's been cooled down overnight. I'm just going to portion it in like a freezer tubs and just put it to the freezer. But I just wanted to show you because it turned out so well and it tastes delicious. You know, now if I want a little bit of tangy taste, I can put fresh lemon. We can put whatever we want because we don't need to stick to the rules of canning. Because we're freezing this and fresh eating, I can use fresh lemon or lime, or I can use bottled lemon for a little bit of a tangy taste. Or you can even put maybe Worcestershire sauce in here if you like it. You know, you can experiment. I probably might try a bit of a Worcestershire sauce as well. So yeah, but this is delicious. Amazing. I have got a few more jobs needs doing, I've just remembered. Do you remember when we made the elderberry syrup? And we had some leftovers. I put most in jars, but some we put in a freezer. So I just remembered that I need to deal with this. So I'm gonna label this freezer bag as elderberry syrup. Put this in here. So what I'm gonna do probably, I'm just gonna put one in there. But look what a lovely block this is. Try to not to make too much of a mess. Whenever we need this, just take it out of the freezer, a night before, and just use it as we would use the fresh. I really love using this silicone mold because you just literally push it up and the product right comes out. So I just push the button, my fingers, and that block comes out. How easy is that? I'm gonna go by the sink and wash this before I make a mess, friends. So now I'm just going to literally close this up, make sure we see what's in there when I put it in a freezer before it melts. The time is up, our bread dish is ready, came up to temperature. So my next job is, I've just took this bread out of the oven. So what I do, I'm going to use parchment paper. I use this pre-cut parchment paper because I make bread a couple of times a week and it just saves me a little bit of time to cut it up. And that's how easy. I usually leave this on my agate until it's bone dry before I put it away, and I reuse the shower cup as well. So this is my little tool what I use for scoring my bread. And most of the time the go-to score, it's super easy. I'm just making 2 deep cuts on both sides like that, and literally that's it. You can make, you know, some fancy little, but I just do a couple of cuts as well in between, and that's it. Our bread, it's now ready to go to the oven. Make sure we use oven gloves because this pot, it's very hot. And I'm just gently going to put this in the pot. Just like that. Put the lid back on and it's going back to the roasting oven for 45 minutes. Time is up. Let's check that bread. It's been there for about 45 minutes and it's done. Look at this bread. I've ended up put 1 cup of rye flour and about 5-6 cups of bread flour. So what I usually do now, I'll take this out of the pan and I'm going to leave it in a wrap to cool down. So look at this bread. Smells so good. Now I leave this for at least an hour before we cut into it and have a breakfast. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me today. Made the apple juice, started making the apple cider vinegar, sorry about my dogs. And just to show you some few kitchen projects, like the sauerkraut turned out amazing. I really enjoy, having goats, making the goat's cheese. The tomato sauce, we need to make that together because that's divine. And all the other kitchen projects we do together. So the next one is gonna be now, probably we do a garden tour. Also, we've got so much to do. Freeze drying projects, canning, harvesting from the garden, lots of cooking, baking videos, lots of fall recipes. But for now, bye friends!